what do we know about Donald Trump's plan for the federal government and the people who work there? What did we learn from the campaign trail?
So on the campaign trail, Trump was pretty rough on the government. He said repeatedly that there's lots of waste, fraud, and abuse in the federal government, which is a common rallying cry for Republicans. Government is bloated. I think at one point Trump said, "We're going to cut so much out of government, your head will spin." And the way he referred to the about 2.1 million civilian workers who work in the government was he kind of drew a line between this waste, fraud, and corruption and their numbers. So he basically said, well, we need to cut the number of people who work in government because if we do that, we'll get rid of, problems. I think it's more complicated than that, but that resonated with many, many voters.
Okay, we're talking about 2.1 million workers. A lot of people, of course, assume Washington, the seat of power here. What percentage of federal workers are actually based here versus other parts of the country?
So it's actually a smaller number than you would think. So just 15% of the federal workforce is actually in the D.C. area, Maryland, Virginia, D.C. And the rest are, just spread across federal agencies from, HUD to the Defense Department, the Navy, EPA, in installations pretty much, all over the government. And when you think about it, the National Park Service is part of the government, and as we know, national parks are spread in every state. What's interesting about Trump's vision of the bureaucracy is that he wants to increase it quite dramatically in some areas and then pretty much slash it in others. For example, he said he wants to either dismantle or, get rid of the Environmental Protection Agency, which, makes sense from Republicans' point of view, since that's an agency that that is heavy with regulation of coal, the coal industry, things like that, and the Department of Education, which again is another very popular target, for Republicans. And he has said that he would either eliminate or pretty much cripple the Department of Education. Now, doing this is not so easy, but on the flip side, Trump wants to really, really grow the Defense Department, more warships, more air power, more active duty military, and the other notable increase to the government would be in the area of immigration, illegal immigration, and the government's efforts to crack down on it. So he would, I think, double or triple the size of the Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency, which basically, their mandate is to deport people who are here illegally. And then there's the Border Patrol. He wants to also increase their ranks because those are the people, who would apprehend people at the border. There's the wall. A lot of this is going to expand the reach of the government.